playing. I will monitor his minutes, but he is playing.
You anticipate with even rolling out a three-guard starting lineup for you and kind of maybe that changes things for you?
I anticipate them definitely doing that. They're a young, exciting, fast team, and they thrive in playing smaller guys on the floor. We're going to have to match up with it at some time, but we'll see how the game goes and how the flow of the game is at the time. But Keith definitely is starting.
Hey.
Hey.
So earlier today, Earl Watson was kind of reflecting on your 2008-2009 season in Oklahoma City.
Yes.
And saying just how patient you were with that team. That was a very young team, but in a way, do you have to have the same sort of patience with this squad?
I think it's definitely different circumstances, different players, different team, different part of the process. But patience is important. You're putting in a new system with 8 new guys. We haven't had the start that we would have liked, but it's still only 12 games in. But patience is important at this time. But I really believe we've showed flashes of some good basketball on both ends of the floor. We haven't been able to sustain it consistently within the game or game to game. But yeah, I mean, Earl was a while back, but definitely that was a big part of our success back then.
Was back when he was a player and you knew him, was he one of those guys that you could kind of see down the road with the good coach? How would you describe your relationship?
Well, he's a hard-nosed, aggressive basketball player when he played, and he fought for everything that he ever got out of the game. And he wasn't highly drafted, but highly competitive. And he's a classic example. It's not where you're drafted; it's how you compete on a daily basis. And he practiced hard and he played hard.
How has he gone through practice so far?
Yeah, he's went through yesterday's practice. Came back. You're always concerned the next day. No problems. He's still progressing along. He went through shoot around today. Don't know when he will be back. We got a couple of practices coming up the next couple of days before Thanksgiving. But it's good to see him out there. He gives us another body that can protect the basket, and he has a good experience. He's won championships, a couple. But I like what he did yesterday in practice. He really moved very well. Obviously, he's a little rusty, and conditioning is going to be a factor early on. But he puts time in, he works, and we'll see how soon he can be back.
Coach, your team has struggled defending the three-pointers this season. When you crunch the numbers and review the tape, what are the reasons that come to mind when you look at the three-point defense?
Well, there's a lot of factors. Sometimes it was bad spacing on the offensive end that created a turnover that led to a transition three. Sometimes it was matching up. You have to always match up and find the three. Shooters out there, especially sometimes a lot of teams are having 4 shooters on the floor. A couple of teams have 5. And now, like I said, now some teams have the shooting 5. And then our switches can be a factor. There's a variety of things. We haven't done a good job with that. That's part of our problems, and we have to fix that. But transition, we're trying to keep everything simple. We got to get back tonight. This is a very fast team that plays with incredible pace, and they got athleticism on the wings, and they got a point guard that's aggressive to the rack. But we have to make sure that we have 3 guys back at all times, and 4 and 5 hustling back and matching up.
Is there anything happening that you're seeing in the last couple of games that Andrew has played that's not allowing him to be active under the defensive glass or just get rebounds, period?
What player? Andrew?
Andrew.
A lot of the times it's the game, it's the matchups. A lot of teams are so small, especially when they're coming off the bench, and it's trying to find him a matchup right now. It's been a little tough. I'm not down on him. I just the way the game is going, the way the game is played, I have to make a decision between either, you know, Jason or Drew. But he's, one thing I love about him, he's a professional in his approach. He's just left the workout room now, and he's in there working out, getting ready for the game. He's not discouraged. He's just waiting for his chance, and I have confidence if I do throw him in there, he's going to perform.
Whether by necessity or not, you'd be able to get Sheldon in a little bit, getting Sheffield in-house, and not central play. Where do they stand right now? What do you maybe need to see that more from them to play, or
Yeah, well, right now they're probably not going to play a lot of minutes on the game floor, but they're going to do their work in practice and do their work before games and shoot around. You can't play all 15 guys, but you have to develop all of them, and I feel very confident in our program in developing players. And like I said, you have to be able to keep them engaged and motivated. But when you have 3 undrafted rookies, if they're not engaged and motivated, I think we probably picked the wrong 3. But they're excited. Talk to them every day. You know, just keeping them locked in and getting better, and staying with the process of developing their game. And eventually, there are going to be some opportunities for them to be on the court.
Are you still limited on times with Bradley and John?
No, but I'm going to be wise. You know, it's a long season, and they've both come off some injuries. But tonight, no. But I'm going to still monitor it. But they've both felt pretty good the last couple of days, and that's good. You know, Brad came off his hamstring injury, and then John's first time playing back-to-back. But I've talked to both of them the last few days, and they both felt pretty good.
You mentioned the pace of the Suns. How would you kind of describe where your team has been so far in that regard? Would you like them to play faster? Or you like the rhythm in general on offense?
Well, I don't think our offense has been a major factor from our difficult start, tough start. It's on the defensive end. We're having trouble of really just locking in, sustaining 48 minutes of defensive pressure. And you do that by every possession, one at a time. You have 24 seconds of defense every time down the court, and you got to lock in to give yourself the best chance to keep the team under the number that we want night in and night out. But offensively, we've had some trouble shooting the ball early from the 3. Hopefully, in the last few games we've kind of trended up, and hopefully we can keep that going. I think. I know going into the season, I know we had some pretty good shooters, and unfortunately they had a tough start. But I think we can turn that around and keep shooting the ball well.
Some of you guys have parroted that lock in. Is that something you got on the board
It's lock in. I mean, I think a lot of teams, a lot of players, a lot of systems use it. It's basically a buzzword of be ready at all times, and you have to. It's a long season, and you can daydream at times, and you can't do that. You got NBA players attacking you every time down the court, and there's a lot of good players on Phoenix's team that can attack. So you have to lock in and know who's in front of you and know his tendencies, and that gives you a better chance to stop him. And we use that, and I think more importantly, we have to do it every possession on the court.
They don't, the way they play, within 10 seconds, shots up.
Yes.
Does that make it easy? Because you don't have to play the whole 24 against them, in theory. Does that make it, I wouldn't want to see
Yeah, I mean, if they weren't good players, it would really be easy because they'd be taking bad shots. But they're good players. These guys can score. And if they start the 3 guards, it's going to be probably even faster. But they have a style, and they want to continue to build on that style. But they have a lot of young talent, and Earl, I'm sure he's going to continue to develop them and think big picture with them. But in the meantime, you still want to focus on winning the games and making winning plays for each other and having a winning mentality, and not worry about developing your players on the court, but developing a winning spirit within the group.